Hey, collective. Good morning. Happy Saturday. You already know. Motivational message. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Hang on 1 second, y'all. If y'all don't mind, thank you. A little brighter. Okay. Yeah. Let's get ready for this reading, y'all. Remember that time is fluid, so whenever you see this, I'm already sweating, y'all. Whenever you see this, it's when you're meant to see it. It's a general reading. It may not resonate with everyone, so please only take what resonates and leave the rest. All right. Today we're going to be reading from John 1, 1 to 11. So 111. Okay? Today is the 23rd. Child, I think today's the 23rd. Thank you, Spirit. The 23rd of, hang on, y'all. Everything's so freaking dark this morning. It's raining, too. I guess we needed it, right? Okay, let's go back in here. All right, let's read. All right, understanding guilt. Good one, right? Are you living with the freedom and love Jesus offers? I'm reading it from my computer because I don't have my book. I don't have my November book. All right, John 8, 1 through 11. 1 to 11, okay. Guilt over doing something that violates the conscience is reasonable. However, living under a cloud of remorse for no reason isn't. God designed guilt to serve as a reminder that we have sinned and need to repent, right? But Satan twists those emotions to imprison us. That's why people living in shame often feel unsure of God's love. Does God still love me? Will God love me? And here we go with the misrepresentation of Jesus saying that because we've done something so horrible that we can't be forgiven. That's a lie. I'm a testimony to tell you that's a lie. Some of y'all know my story. Some of y'all see me in the pits. All right? So y'all know they lying. Good guilt. Okay, the Lord's tool for prompting repentance is a gift that helps us find the right path. However, the devil encourages false guilt, which leads us to feel responsible for those things outside of our control. This unhealthy type of guilt is a widespread problem for those in legalistic churches or lifestyles. Certain behaviors or thoughts are labeled as wrong. Right? That's the church, right? That's the box that they want to put us in, right? If we believe in God, you got to get in this box. That's a lie. All right? That's a lie. Okay, let me see. It says certain behaviors or thoughts are labeled as wrong. And then people feel ashamed for doing and thinking those things. And then they feel like they can't go to church or they can't come to God because of something that they did. But that's because the church says that it's a sin and it's wrong and da-da-da-da. Listen, how do I say this without causing some kind of controversy about sin, right? We were born into sin. The world is sin itself, right? In and of itself. We're never going to be perfect. How about that? We're never going to be perfect. But our conscience, when we do things like say I smoke, I know it ain't right and I know it ain't healthy. You understand? But do I believe that God don't love me because of it? Absolutely fucking not. Absolutely not. I know he does. You hear me? Even when I smoke weed, I know he still loves me. I'm the one that has to deal with the is it healthy for me? Is it good for me? Not for you. Not because of what you think. Not because you say that if you believe in God that you can't do it. That's a lie. That's what I'm trying to tell y'all. That's a lie. God ain't concerned about me smoking no cigarette or no weed. God's concerned about my heart. The weed and the cigarettes, it should be concerned about my health. Not my competence. You understand what I'm saying to you? This does not say that God doesn't love me and that I don't walk with him. That's what the devil try to pretend, that if we do these things, I'm not telling you to do it. Understand what I'm saying? You are not me. I'm not telling you to copy me. My walk with God is my walk with God. Okay? I just want to say that. But you have to live in your own truth. Don't live in my truth. Live in your truth. God loves you anyway. I promise he does. If you love him, he loves you back. Just like a parent. Is a parent going to stop loving a child because they do something wrong? Absolutely not. But will the parent chastise a child for doing something wrong? Absolutely. Come on now, get it together. Let's keep going. Jesus did... Wait a minute, let's go. I almost missed it. Okay, for thinking, okay. Self-condemnation stunts a relationship with Jesus by keeping us from authentic, satisfying experiences with him. Instead of enjoying his peace, those trapped by shame fear his rejection and feel driven to prove their worth. Listen, we are never gonna be good enough by people's standards. We'll never be good enough. We would have to totally turn into fucking virgins and come here with wings before people believe that God sits with us, walks with us, and talks with us, which is bullshit. That's why a lot of people are missing out right now, because they feel like they can't come to him. The shame and the guilt around who they are and what they've done in their life will stop them from talking to God and opening up and letting Jesus free them. He wants to take it away from you. He wants to tell you that it's okay. I understand. You weren't supposed to be perfect. He ain't looking for perfect. If he was looking for perfect, we wouldn't need him. Now would we? And if we had to be perfect before he could use us, then how could we help other people? We don't know what the fuck that we talking about if we ain't never been through it. Self-condemnation stunts a relationship with Jesus by keeping us from authentic, satisfying experiences with him. Instead of enjoying his peace, those trapped by shame fear his rejection and feel driven to prove their worth. Trust is nearly impossible. Absolutely. Because how? You can never measure up. You'll never get there because you're always thinking you got to change something. You got to be perfect. Bullshit. Be you. Be your true authentic self. Be honest about who you are. Talk to him. You got a friend, man, in Jesus, I promise. Jesus did not come to condemn. Let me finish this. Trust is nearly impossible because they are waiting for God's judgment to rain down. Look at that. Waiting for the other shoe to drop, right? What if it never is? Jesus did not come to condemn. He didn't come to condemn us. He restored our souls and made us righteous before God so that our guilt is removed. But let me just tell you something. Now, if you're feeling shame about some shit, listen, that's normal. But when you turn yourself in, somebody may need to turn themselves in. But when you turn your life around, that means you're changing the behaviors that you were ashamed of, right? That's what it's all about. He gives us the opportunity to change the behaviors that we were ashamed of, that we feel guilty about. We don't have to keep doing it. He forgives us. He will forgive you. Right. He restored our souls and made us righteous before God so that our guilt is removed. And he wants nothing more than to take away your shame. Surrender it to Jesus today and he will give you freedom. All right. And we ain't even got to the Bible yet. Let's read. Okay, 1 John. And the word became flesh. I love this one. I love this reading because it's kind of tricky in a way because it's telling you who Jesus is, but the way it's saying it, you wouldn't understand. What are you talking about, right? Okay. The word became flesh, and the word is Jesus. Just for reference going forward, when you hear me say the word, I'm talking about Jesus. When you hear me say the light, I'm talking about Jesus, okay? Follow along. Try to. If you can't, ain't nothing I can really do about that. That ain't my responsibility. Bring it up to the Lord. All right. In the beginning was the word, and the word was with God, right? And the word was God. He was with God in the beginning. Through him all things were made. Without him nothing was made that has been made. In him was life, and that life was the light of men. The light shines in the darkness, but the darkness has not understood the light. The darkness doesn't understand. The darkness doesn't recognize the light. Just like they didn't recognize who Jesus was when he was here. They called him a liar. They called him the devil. They called him a sorcerer. They called him all kinds of names except the child of God, which is who he was. There came a man who was sent from God. His name was John. He came as a witness. I knew somebody could say his name was John. He came as a witness to testify concerning that light, so that through him all men might believe. He himself was not the light. He came only as a witness to the light. The true light that gives light to every man was coming into the world. Uh-oh. He was in the world. He's here. Ooh. Oh, shit. He's here. He was in the world. And though the world was made through him, the world did not recognize him. Even though he brought himself down here in the flesh to look just like you and me, they still didn't recognize him. They still didn't believe. Right? He came to that which was his own. His own. Us. We are his. We come from the same source. Right? We come from the same source. Come on now. He came to that which was his own, but his own did not receive him. Yet to all who received him, to those who believed in his name, he gave the right to become children of God. Children born not of natural descent, nor of human decision, or of a husband's will. Come on, Spirit. But born of God. The world became flesh. The Word became flesh and made his dwelling among us. All right? We have seen his glory, the glory of the one and only, who came from the Father, full of grace and truth. John testifies concerning him. He cries out, saying, "This was the one whom I was talking about. That's the one I was telling y'all about. This is the one I've been telling y'all about. Jesus, yes." Come on, Spirit. You better get excited about it. All right. This was the one of whom I said, "He who comes after me has surpassed me because he was before me." From the fullness of his grace, we have all received one blessing after another, haven't we? Every day we wake up and give us a new breath at life. That's a blessing in God's grace and mercy, because he could have kept our eyes closed, baby. If we're so bad, if we're so deceitful, if we're so unloving and unrighteous and this and that, why he keep waking us up then? If he ain't trying to give us a chance. Okay? For the law was given through Moses' grace, and truth came, through Jesus Christ, cat. No one has ever seen God, but God, the one and only, who is at the Father's side, has made him known. He came in the flesh to try to save us, right? But folks didn't believe in him. You know, I was in there and I was praying, and I was talking to God, and I was like, you know, I'm grateful. I said, God, you know, thank you so much for loving me as I am, right? For loving me as I am. And I know I'm not a bad person. I grapple with, you know, my smoking a lot of days, right? But then some days, you know, I get the, you know, listen, do the best you can, right? Just do what you came here to do. All right. And God, and pray about it and let God continue to work on it with you, right? If that's something that you choose to do, because it's a choice, right? And it's a choice because of how I feel about myself, not because of what you think, because what you think don't matter. How you feel about me ain't got shit to do with me, right? God is working in my life, whether you believe that or not. I don't have to prove anything. But I can be an example. And what I was thinking about, I was like, God, you know, I know you in my life. I know who you are, right? Because let me tell you something about my journey. I've been on this journey for 4 years now, right? And in 4 years, I'm not trying to guilt or shame nobody or nothing like that. But I'm going to say this. From my father's side of the family to my mother's side of the family, to my own immediate family, all right? Ain't nobody reached out to me and said, you know, keep doing what you're doing. There was no encouragement. in the Lord, right? There was nothing. I have not received anything. The only juice I get is from God himself. And that was a hard pill for me to swallow. It was like my whole reality was torn down. Do you hear me? Everything I thought I knew about relationships, family, children, parents, everything I thought I fucking knew, they showed me I ain't no shit. That it was all fake. And I'm not saying people were fake. I'm saying how I seen it, how I envisioned it, how I thought it was supposed to go. For whatever reason, I was ripped from that fabric, that foundation. Do you understand what I'm saying to you? And I was put by myself. And I was called a witch. And I was called the devil. And they said I've been doing witchcraft. And they said that I do this and I do that. Let me tell you something. If it wasn't for my Father, my God in heaven, you hear me, that walks with me, I would have never made it out of that shit alive. Because of the way I was ostracized, of the way I was kicked the fuck out, because of my belief, that shows me right here and now, right, in this reading, that I'm in the right place, that I'm in alignment with my Father. You hear me? Because they tried to shame me and guilt me because of my past and tell me that God was never going to be there for me. They lied. That was the devil working through the people. What did it say here, child? It says that, however, the devil encourages false guilt, which leads us to feel responsible for things outside of our control. We ain't got no control on how they believe, but I can guarantee they try to control the narrative about me. They wanted to make me out to be the liar. Because what? Because they don't see God in their life, so they pretend, oh, he can't be in mine. He's in their life too. They just don't recognize him. Now, if you're a child of God, why don't you recognize him? You're stuck in that energy because you don't believe he loves you. Somebody told you that because of something that you did that he can't love you. And maybe it's just the fact that you don't even want to recognize him or even get to know him, that you're slurring out that hate and those false narratives. It's because you're comfortable in the sin. I have a little note here that I wrote a while back, right? Little sticky note. And it says, Romans 5, verse 12. Adam and Eve equals sin and Jesus equals life. They listened. They followed. They listened to the devil's false fucking narrative saying, oh, God ain't going to take you back. He don't want. Because he didn't take his ass back. Because he wanted to be God. He wanted to take God's place. So God stripped him of his shit, man, and sent him down here to have free reign. But he will always be on the bottom. Understand that. He will always be on the bottom, and he wants to keep as many motherfuckers down there with him as he can. Anyway, I think that's all I got. The word became flesh. Listen, don't let nobody tell you that God won't love you because of something you did. You're going to have to think for yourself today, sister and brothers. Think for yourself today. Don't let nobody if somebody tell you God don't love you, get the fuck as far away from them as possible. If somebody tells you got to be a certain way, 1919, to be a part of God's life, Jesus in your life, get away from them. They're lying. They're working for the devil. Anybody tell you that what you do is bad, look, take that up with God. Have a conversation with God. You are a unique individual. You were not made to be put in no box and to walk around like a robot. We can't do this. We got to do it like this. We got to. No. Be who you are. God is looking for the weak and the meek. the broken, the troubled children, the black sheep. Yep, he wants you. He wants you on his team. Yep, he wants the broken ones. Because if you're perfect and you got what you need God for, right? God can't teach you shit because you know everything. You think you got it all together. He can't teach you shit. He can't show you shit. He can't use it for nothing. He can't send you down into the pit. You're too good for that. He can't send you down into the fire to go get his people. He can't send you. He can send me though. And y'all don't even see me coming. You hear me? All right, y'all. Y'all have a good day. I'll see y'all. Deuces.